The conclusion of events taking place on Earth seems inevitable, as countries that feel threatened by them are uniting into two distinct groups for their protection. Steps are being carried out to try and calm things down, but some countries seem set upon allowing confrontation to take place. After 2 world wars, it seems that lessons have not been learned, and what you call a power grab is likely to take place that could lead to an all-out war. Negotiations are taking place to try and prevent such an outcome, but not helped by those who seem determined to take risks for their own power and gratification. You are in the end times, but it was never intended that you should use them in such a way. We use our influence to avoid the death and destruction that would be inevitable if war was declared. However, we observe what is taking place, and as far as we are allowed will do our best to calm matters down. We hope that common sense prevails and a solution is found to the threats that are menacing many countries at present. We assure you once again that we are present to ensure that not only a nuclear war does not take place, but that actions of war are not allowed to escalate into a worldwide problem. These are decrees that come from a much higher level than yours, and they will be acted upon. Negative energies have a tendency to stir up even greater problems, and clearly it is what we want you to avoid when so much is at stake. The Dark Ones will try to have their last attempt to start a great war between nations, but we are with you to ensure it does not happen. At some stage in the near future, permanent peace will descend upon Earth, and that is a part of the great plan for man. Meantime, some souls that incarnated upon Earth will work off their karma, in what can only be described as some of the worst conditions experienced by them. If you knew truthfully why that should be, you would understand that the reasons are to give experiences that suit their needs, to ensure that they advance spiritually. Punishment does not exist in our desire to lift souls up out of the lower vibrations. It is their choice, and we stand aside to allow it, knowing it will advance their understanding of what evolution is all about. We look down upon Earth and see how so many souls are being mistreated in the name of religion that have little or nothing to do with the real teachings given by the masters such as Jesus and his disciples. They call for the love of all humans regardless of their beliefs, knowing that eventually they will find the right path of love and light. However, all religious teachings have some value, but eventually only the truth will prevail. Hence many souls incarnate each time to experience new truths, so as to help their understanding grow. For some have a very hard road to travel, but it will give the experiences needed to evolve. A point of contention that often puzzles some souls is life after death, as it does not always feature the same in religious teachings. It often comes about because of a misunderstanding arising from the belief that they are their body. Yes, it is true whilst they are on earth, but the soul is a spark from the Supreme Creator, and is immutable. Realize that you are made in the image of God and will acquire powers of a God-like quality, for example creating through sheer thought power. Your future will be so much different than you can possibly imagine. You have so much to look forward to, and every effort you put in will be rewarded 100 times over. Life upon Earth can be very enjoyable, and the creations of nature can be outstanding, and it is obvious that such beauty and variety could hardly have come about by accident. It will probably make you wonder what intelligence has had a hand in such creations, and let us say beautiful souls that have well advanced beyond the human level. The Earth is such a beautiful planet, and yet man in his ignorance and lack of understanding has little respect or understanding for it. Your future prospects are exciting, and whatever experiences you go through will be well worthwhile to get off the wheel of rebirth and become your own person. The Earth is a school of learning and dedicated to you to give the experiences you need to become free of the lower vibrations and rebirth into the higher realms. The Dark Ones are allowed to do whatever they can to keep you from the truth, but they must declare it first, allowing you an opportunity to deal with it. You see, it is all a serious game if you look at it in that way, and you by your actions will find your right level. Angelic forces represent light, and those souls of little or no light, the Dark Ones. Whilst being on Earth seems to be full of random occurrences, it is in fact well organized in spite of the many interactions between people. Everyone has many friends, but they may not be directly involved with your life plan. Family and close friends, however, are for obvious reasons more directly involved in your life. Passing acquaintances can be involved in your life and yet play an important part in it. It is all really like a play where your roles have been defined before you incarnate upon Earth, and you could say that curtain up is the end of that particular life. So you see, life is not really as complicated as you may think, and if anything it is human beings who make it so. For sure, when you're understanding of what is going on around you and its role in your life, it becomes a lot easier to deal with. The idea is not to interfere in other people's lives, but by all means give them help, but do not go against their wishes unless you have good cause to. Realize also that your guides sometimes find it necessary to intervene and use their powers to avert a wrong decision or action being taken. Life is not so complicated as you may think, but for certain it does seem to be so on occasions. We have mentioned before that it is usually humans that cause problems, mostly due to lack of knowledge of how life operates. As you often say, it is live and learn, and that is the whole purpose for you being on earth, and every soul has a purpose in life to give them the experience to continue growing spiritually, whether they realize it or not. I leave you with love and blessings, and may the light brighten your days and path to completion. This message comes through my higher self, my God self, and every soul has the same connection to God. In love and light. Mike Quinsey.